Alright, so we're back with another video, and one of my viewers actually took a huge advantage of hitting me in the DM. Yes, guys, if you want me to make a video on something, all you gotta do is just hit it right here. Alright, so I'm gonna tell you the question that she asked me, because I'm telling you, the more questions you guys ask me, it's getting windy, so I gotta watch out, because I know it's gonna mess with the audio a bit. But basically, she took advantage, hit me in the DM, asked a question. You hit me in the DM, you ask a question, I'm most likely going to make a video about it if I don't have videos that already answer the question for you. Now, I have a video that kind of answers this question, but I want to be very specific when it comes to taking an ex on, because this is a very different process. I have a video that I will link below that will help you from this process and kind of get the context through your head about what I'm going to tell you here. But regardless, you know, if I just sent you that video alone, I feel that wouldn't be enough to help describe this context here, what I'm going to tell you. Because when it comes from moving on from someone that you love, it's never an easy process. It never is, okay? The whole thing that goes on when it comes to letting go of somebody that you let in, that you gave your heart to, and that you invested yourself into emotionally, physically, mentally, and you got to know them in such a great way. It's a very hard process, and I just need you to, you know, painting that picture for you probably doesn't make it better, but it's important that you get that picture, because it's not as easy as just letting go. The process of letting go of someone who you really connected with and vibed with is never easy. It never is. So, I'm going to tell you a few things that are going to help you, and I'm going to tell you a few type of things that could happen and how you're going to have to deal with them. So let's see how much time I got on the clock. 23, yeah. So obviously this won't be too long a video because I got to be heading out, but yeah. So actually, why did I put my phone right there? First thing I need you to consider as far as this act, right? Whatever puts you guys apart is really going to base a bit on how things might go, but I'm just going to kind of give you scenarios from my experience and what I know, and hopefully that'll help you out, right? So what I like to understand from myself, because I'm going through, you know, similar shit, right? Whenever you're in the process where it's like, you know, you're having to let go of an ex, or you're having to let go of somebody in that context, what I like to tell people is, if it's coming to a certain point, right? Whatever it is that separated you guys, y'all are done, right? The thing's over. You can't turn back on it. And, you know, I'm going to have to say a bit on this. To let go of somebody, you got to understand this. It's going to be worse to try and hold on to something when it's not meant for you. Okay? The hardest part about swallowing the fact that this relationship is over is actually accepting the fact that it's over, right? Because here's the thing. When the odds are done, when you and your ex have done y'all's thing, y'all had y'all's relationship, I don't care if that shit was 5 years, I don't care if it was 5 months, whatever it was and whatever went on in that relationship, the moment that it ends, and I mean like for good, like he says I'm done, she says I'm done, whatever happened in that situation, and you guys, boom, you guys ended that whole thing, okay? The most common thing that happens after a breakup is that you guys instantly get emotional, and y'all guys can't stop thinking about each other. You guys don't want to be away from each other. You guys are just like, ooh, like, I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop wanting to be around you. Like, you know, you're my world. All that shit. All that shit's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna hit you. Okay? And it's really because the body's so, it's really because since you've become so emotionally attached, the moment that it starts to get taken away, you don't want to let it go. And especially if you're clingy as someone like me, you tend to want to hold on a bit, even though you know you shouldn't, right? So my advice to you is to understand your feelings, right? Don't follow them necessarily, because what you may be following is a completely wrong thing, right? There is a bit of logic that does have to be thrown into this when you're considering what's happening after this breakup, right? Because, you know, there's the dynamic of, you know, ooh, what if we're meant to get back together and all this shit, right? Look, you guys are done. When the tie is cut, that's it. when you guys chose to end that connection, you need to start making like, this is what I want you to take the process of. Number one, have every emotional outpour and breakdown. Have every one of it, right? Like, I'm telling you, whenever it's done and you realize that when you can finally swallow that fact, and it's going to be a difficult time swallowing that fact because of the emotions that are going to come up, all the joyful times, all the miserable times, all the things that he did that you liked, all the things he didn't do, all these things are going to start coming back to you, and it's just going to hurt you a lot, okay? Don't try and ignore it, okay? Don't try and run straight to step 2, which is, you know, beginning to move on process. I want you to get with the emotions, right? Because if you can understand your emotional state, you'll know where to go from here. And why? Because your feelings, your intuition knows what's best for you, okay? But when the whole thing is severed and done, and you guys know that this is never going back, like, you know in your heart this isn't coming back, you know in your heart that this shit came to an end, then what you need to do is allow every emotion to grieve. Even if you get thoughts of getting back together, even if you have thoughts of continuing some sort of small time relationship together, and that's don't even do that shit. Like, I'm telling you, like, I mean, I guess if you guys want to stay friends, that's cool, but you got to be very wary about that, because the feelings are still there, and you got to allow. And honestly, what I've found is you have to allow room to breathe, because whatever it is that separated y'all is not gonna. It's going to continue to do that unless that wound has time to heal. You know, does that make sense to you? So, I'm going to check the time just to make sure I'm not overstepping. Okay, 3 minutes. So, have whatever emotions. You know, I don't care if you're going to bed crying, you know, about this guy. Don't let it signify. Because here's the thing, man. Your emotions are not a weakness. I mean, think about it. You were in love with this guy, or you had tons of feelings for this guy. You felt strong for this person. So how is it weak that you're crying? That's like saying you were weak for falling for him in the first place. No, you genuinely followed your heart, and guess what? Your heart has become severed. It's hurt. It's destroyed. It's shattered. Yes. So have the emotions that come through with it, but don't make action. Don't make action off of it. Don't pursue anything out of it. Don't make anything don't make it deeper than it has to be. Let the emotions exist, and then let them have their thing. Don't make it deeper than it is. Okay? Then, once you've had your time with that, then you can begin. And I would say spend about a good week or 2 just having emotions. Okay? Don't worry about anything else, man. Don't worry about the move on. Don't worry about what chances to still have. Don't worry. Don't overthink this. Okay? Have the emotions. Listen and stick and be real with your feelings. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. Once you have your feelings, what I want you to do is begin the move on process. And that is, I want you to completely rid yourself of anything, okay? I'm talking about some pictures just need to be deleted. I'm talking about some notes need to be burned. I'm talking about some conversations need to be thrown out the window. I'm talking this guy, you can't hold on to this. It was great memories. It was great times. You're not going to forget them. You're not going to, okay? So, you know, it's great. You know, there's a couple pictures that you may want to keep, fine. But don't keep the whole fucking, you know, album, right? Stop holding on to the past memories. There's a story I like to tell myself, and it's this. When this relationship is over, right, now that it's over, now that the relationship is over, I need you to understand one thing and one thing only. The reality that once served me is not the reality that serves me anymore. You get what I'm saying? The reality that once served me is not the reality that served me more. This relationship that was once my reality, my greatest feeling, my honest truth, is no longer that. It's come to an end. It's finished. It was meant to take me here and give me this great time and these great lessons, but it hit this point, and now we're done. It brought me to this point, and now it's over. Okay? And when you can allow that fact to be existent, you can allow yourself to move on. Right? And I'm going to link you to that video because it's really important you get that through your head, that you can't keep holding on to your past relationships. Because I'm telling you, if you go into new relationships still holding on to your exes, it's going to be some fucking bullshit. If you go in to a new relationship with a new guy and you guys are about it, but you're still strong on your ex. You're still with your ex. Like you still got it for him and you haven't completely let him go. You're still holding on to him as a part, but you got this new guy in the picture. It's not going to play well. Okay? It's not going to play well because he's going to feel like you're constantly with him. He's going to be able to get that vibration like, what's going on? Like, do you want me? You want him? So don't get caught up on your ex, bro. If you can't let go of your ex, then it's going to affect all the future relationships you have from there, right? I mean, psychologists discuss that this is important. So you understand that this reality that came to an end has to come to an end. If you guys, I mean, at the most friends, it can't be more than that. It can't even be best friends. Like, it has to just be friends. Because if you don't allow you guys to breathe, if you don't allow yourselves to breathe as honest friends and be cool with yourselves at a distance, you're going to keep getting strung up again and again and again. You're going to keep holding on to something and you'll never move forward. You will stay in the same spot that doesn't serve you. You're playing the reality that doesn't exist and you live in the past. You never take a chance to go to the future. You never come back to the now. So, to do the move on process, I would tell you this. Tell yourself that story. Remind yourself that the reality that once served me is not the reality that I live anymore. Fuck, that's a lot of wind. Give it a second. Okay? You understand that's not your reality anymore. You need to get rid of photographs. You need to get rid of hoodies. You need to get rid of anything that's basically anything that has sentiment and emotional value to this guy. You need to get rid of it. You need to get rid of it. You need to get it out the way. Hide it. Burn it. I don't care. You can't hold on to your ex. You can't. I can't. I'm telling you. It is a temptation to hold on sometimes. But if you want to move on from your ex. Now, it seems like you want to. I just need to get it through your head that when you're in this process, you may feel like you want to go back. I need you to understand how important it is to not. My tip and advice for you is to remind yourself that this reality that once was, this relationship that once was between you and him is not anymore. It is not now. That's your past. It's done. It's over. Stop holding on. Let it go. Move it on. Dissipate. Boom. Goodbye. And it's going to be a process. It's going to be a long, grieving process. But you're going to make it work. You're going to make it work. You're going to push yourselves through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really get what I'm saying? Like, don't hold on to anything that may keep you guys together. You need to learn to let him go completely. And if this is just a case of emotional attachment, like, you know, no matter what he does, you know, let's say, like, if he was the one that fucked you over and, like, broke your heart, or whatever situation this was, right? Whatever happened in this scenario that caused you guys to completely dissipate, you can't get strung up on it. You know what I'm gonna tell you? Like, however he broke your heart, or however you guys decided to come to an end, the story remains the same. He did this, or we ended up in this position, and it ended us. It wasn't meant for us to handle. It wasn't a situation for us. Our reality came to an end. It's done. He was great. She was awesome. Better's coming. Better is coming. So don't get strung up on the past, because if you keep holding on to your past, if you keep holding on to what was great, you'll never get to experience what is divine. So, burn the notes. Get rid of the hoodies. Get rid of everything that has that sentimental value to him. And you may get reminders and triggers of him at certain things, like, you know, like your car. You guys may have sat in there a lot. You know, the front porch. You guys may have just sat there a lot, and you get tons of memories about it. You know, you pass his house on the way to school every day, right? He was just down the street from you. There's a lot that goes along with it, okay? there are some things you can't control, but what you can get rid of, what you can get out of the way, get it out of the way. Move it out. They got no place now. It's done. Now, once it's moved out and once you guys have decided to let this go, if a friendship must be happening, you have to be strong enough to establish yourself that either I'm telling you this, do not choose to be friends if you think you're going to want to take it further again. Do not be friends if you think that you're going to believe in other chances. Do not take it as friends if you're going to try and make it deeper than that. It has to be friends and it can't be anything deeper. If it's going to be deeper, don't be it at all, because it's just going to lead you back into the same place with your past. Okay? Let go of your past. You don't need it. It's done. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, just hold that in your heart. Let them go. You know, emotionally experience what you experience. Be real with it. And then just start letting go. Shed it off like skin of a snake. Like a snake shedding its skin. Shed those memories. Shed it all off. Become real. Become whole with yourself. Right? So, do meditation practices that I have for you. Do, you know, bioenergetic catharsis could help release any trapped emotions. You know, meditation, writing, you know, and just look forward to the future. Look forward to new things. Look forward to trying other things. Don't make your whole life on it. Don't base your whole life on this breakup. Don't base your whole life off this relationship. It was what it was for the time it was, and now you have to say goodbye. Say goodbye, or you'll never get to say hello to the next thing. So, yeah, I kind of talked a bit there, but hopefully you got the message. You know, man, just allow the emotions to happen for a week or two, even 3, and then begin the move on process. The emotions may continue for months, okay? But just once you reach that 2-3 week mark, start shedding that skin. Start shedding all that off. Say goodbye to it. Bless him the goodbye. Bless the whole picture of goodbye, and let it go to ashes. It has no place for your heart. Your heart will be empty, but you know what's the funny thing about the universe? It doesn't like empty spaces. It will fill it with something better. He filled it for a good time, and he filled it up. But what you got to remember is that now that it's gone, and he's left that part, and your heart is empty now, someone better is gonna fill that spot for you. If you let it. If you let him go. Because a part of you may still hold him to your heart and still keep holding him in your heart. You have to learn to let that spot be empty for a bit. Something will fulfill that spot, and you will learn to say goodbye. And once you say goodbye, you can say hello to the next better thing. That's all I gotta say. Talk to you next time. Good luck on letting go. All right?